Welcome back, Turtle Gang. We have another story to cover. I see some of you guys are not into my voice, but no worries. I am not into some of your faces, but I digress. As you know, working for Dolly, I am very underpaid. You've heard it many times. Dolly's gotta eat. Make sure you hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Now that you've realized, I'm all you've got. Hopefully, we can learn to get past the voice thing and live happily ever after. Speaking of that, Gypsy Rose Blanchard had a no-frills wedding in prison. In an exclusive interview, Gypsy recounted her July 21st, 2022 morning wedding with husband Ryan Scott Anderson, a special education teacher from Louisiana. It was very, very small. We didn't have any guests, she recalled. It was just something for him. Gypsy spoke prior to her release last week from Chillicothe Correctional Center in Missouri. She served more than 8 years in prison after plotting to murder her mother, Dee Dee, with then-boyfriend Nicholas "Nick" Gottajohn. Gottajohn, 32, was sentenced to life in prison without parole in 2019 following his trial conviction for first-degree murder. Dee Dee subjected Gypsy to unnecessary medical treatments and convinced her daughter and others that the now 32-year-old had a litany of illnesses as a child. In court, it was argued Gypsy was a victim of Munchausen syndrome by proxy, a form of child abuse that involves a guardian exaggerating or inducing illness to gain sympathy. In the future, Gypsy said the couple plan on having a reception, like a /redo wedding with all of our family and our friends, and the dress and the cake and everything. Because we deserve that. I deserve that. He deserves that. Our prison wedding was just something to where we can make our vows to each other, she added. It was something that meant something to us. And I think the party is kind of for everybody else and us, but mostly for everybody else. Anderson said that Gypsy had inner conflict at first about getting married. Everybody would tell her, you need to do this, you need to do that. Oh, don't get married because you're going to go around and play the field and go out and experience life. And so that weighed heavy on her, but at the same time, she knew she wanted a family. She knew she wanted a husband and to eventually have kids. Anderson said Gypsy's stepmother, Christy, was opposed to Gypsy getting married in prison. Christy, her stepmom, was pushing her really hard, even 2 days before our wedding, was really pushing her not to get married, he said. And I remember talking with Gypsy, and then I was like, do you want to get married? And she was like, I do. And then I was like, well, I do too. And then, so we just kind of were like, you know what? We're gonna do what we want to do. Anderson said a month before the wedding, he asked Gypsy's father, Rod Blanchard, for permission to marry his daughter. I wanted to make sure he understood that I was with Gypsy for the right reasons, he said. I had already met Christy once and she liked me, but still didn't want Gypsy to get married. But after I met her dad, the only person that Gypsy said to me, if my dad tells me he doesn't want me to get married, I will not get married. That was the only person's approval we had to get. And I got her dad's approval and it was, let's get married. It was just one of those things. We got married and now married, she can come home to me and we can start her life. If you suspect child abuse, call the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4A-CHILD or 1-800-422-4453 or go to www.childhelp.org. All calls are toll-free and confidential. The hotline is available 24/7 in more than 170 languages. You know what would be the best wedding gift for this new couple? Some Dolly soap. Dolly soap will always keep the romance going. Make sure you check it out at www.buydollysoap.com. What's better than seeing in 4K? Seeing in Dolly vision. See into the future like Dolly with Dolly sunglasses. Until next time, Dolly baby.